Right, this is my 1995, I believe, Macro Telehandler TS270. Underneath the rust, and the general untidiness of this telehandler, there is quite a good machine. It's quite rough and ready and is in need of a little bit of love. It's in desperate need of love. So to point out a few mere issues, we start at the front with the boom head, and that is extremely worn out. As you can see, many of the pins are in need of a little bit of love. So that is a job we're going to tackle. It needs a new guard made there. That's a job we're going to tackle. It needs a new guard made for that. That's a job we're going to tackle. It needs this lovely work sorting out. It needs this sorting out. It needs an exhaust welded back on. It needs this sorting out. And various other things. The elephant in the room is it's got no roof, no door. But the plan of attack for this telehandler is we're going to sort out the few mechanical issues it has. We're going to sort out the boom and the fact that that's all worn out. We're going to rebush it. We're going to do some welding. We're going to sort that out. The roof, which is missing, is currently in a state in the workshop, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Ooh, this is so exciting!
The inside obviously is rather tatty. It needs a mat in the floor. It's just rather tacky and a bit terrible. So we've got to sort that out. But basically we're going to do a full restoration on this telehandler to an extent. We're going to do all the paint work, all the body work, make some new guards up, get it looking as crispy, fresh as we can, like cream brulee or whatever you say, I don't know. But that is the plan of attack. So where we're going to start? We're going to start with the roof. We're going to then, once we've finished that sort of, or got that there or thereabouts, we're going to move on to the mechanical work with the boom and such. We're going to strip all of the parts off that we can strip off. I've made a start. I took this headlight out, but there's obviously this headlight that can come out. This wing can come off. This can come off. The rear lights can come off. The bonnet can come off. The grille can come out the bonnet. The air filter assembly can come off. The glass out the cab can come off. This one's got to come off because it's got to be welded. The wheels have got to come off. The steps got to come off. The door's got to come off. You get the hint. A lot of stuff has got to come off. But that is all in aid of doing a better paint job on this machine, because it's in dire need. It's a bit of a mess. But that is the plan of attack. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. Like I say, it's a good machine. It works quite well, but it's just in need of a little bit of love. It's been fairly used and abused. So that being said, we're going to jump to me doing some fiberglass repairs on the roof, because I've already done that, made a little bit of a head start. So we'll jump to that, and then we will move on to some probably mechanical work or stripping parts off of the machine to get it ready, or ready abouts to be prepped, ready for paint. It's going to be quite a few parts in this series to get this looking good again, but I know it's a series that you've been waiting for and many people have wanted to see it, so hopefully it'll be good. Right, moving swiftly on to the roof. I'll just show you the process of doing the fiberglass. Right, here is me sanding down a load of expandy foam, which I used as a rough mould for the fiberglass, because it was the parts that were meant to be there were gone. They weren't with it when I got it. There was nothing to lay the fiberglass onto, as you can see in this shot, to actually mould it to the shape. I had to use a lot of expandy foam and some cardboard out of all things, just to get the light shape for where the light unit on the rear of the roof sits on. So I used some cardboard to mould that to the same shape as the light fittings for the front, because I believe that they would be the same from the factory. Here I am just fiberglassing it. So for those that don't know, you get fiberglass matting, which is the white sheets, and then you get a resin and a hardener. You mix the hardener with resin, and basically you just layer it on and put all of this resin on there, and it just dries rock hard and is what the roof is originally made from. But obviously this is a sort of DIY, do it your own situation. It's not always the easiest, and actually it didn't turn out the best. But then you can get something called fiberfill, which basically is like fiberglass resin, but like in a filler form for bodywork, which is way better. Recommend that way more than the fiberglass matting. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you to death with this fiberglassing, so I will just speed up a little bit, and then we will jump to what it looks like now. It's in some, I've got it in filler, which basically, for those that don't know what filler is, it's just like an automotive filler that you put in dents and stuff to repair patches, but you can put it over this to make it all smooth, ready for some lovely cramp primer and paint. Ooh, how wonderful. Right, let's get this fiberglassing done. Right, that is the fiberglass done. So it's got the rough outline of where the light should be in the back. Obviously it's got a square light that goes in there, but basically that just gives me a good surface to put some filler onto and get it as smooth as the rest of the roof. And it's quite hard, quite solid. Should do the job nicely. I've got to cut all of this foam and stuff out that I used as sort of a template, but that is at least that part fiberglassed. The front isn't as exciting because I've run out of resin, but it's there or thereabouts. That's just kind of holding it all in place, and that should resemble this side. So that's also the cutout for the lights, same as the rear. So that's basically the roof done, minus the filler work and then obviously paint. I'm not taking the window out of it because it's just too complicated. But yeah, so that is that, solid and much better. Hopefully I'll get that to look like brand new. But that's it for day one. Tomorrow we're going to strip some more of the parts off of the machine, and then I don't know, we'll figure it out after that. Right, the roof is coming along. So this is the rear bit. I've got it all fillered. It needs a little bit more just to get rid of these last little bits, but I have made a slight mess on the corner. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but it's quite a rounded corner. This side's quite sharp, so I might have to change that, but it's getting there, slowly but surely. I've filled all the holes that were in it, a little bit of filler work there, and a little bit there. So I'll get that finished, rubbed down, ready for primer, and then we'll prime it in the next video, which will be at some point. So make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell if you haven't done already to be notified of my videos. So we'll get this rubbed down now. Right, here I am, ready to prime this lovely roof. Now I said it was going to be in the next video, but it's actually not, it's in this video. So here I am just testing this primer in this spray gun. Again, a huge thanks to Cramp for supplying the products to do this whole restoration, including all the paints and everything such like that. So really this is just a high build primer, which basically is just a thick primer that will cover certain little imperfections and provide a good surface for the final coat of paint. It's quite crucial if you've done filler work to prime it, obviously, because
For those that don't know, filler is porous, so it will absorb anything you put on it, which will then basically outline the whole line of where you've put the filler compared to the rest of the panel. So it's very important. Now, it's important not to rush this job too much, get a good even coverage and a good coat. Now, with the high build, you can go on quite thick, but you've got to leave enough time to flash off between coats. Otherwise, when you put your top coat on and it's finished and it goes outside, it will drop back because the primer layers underneath aren't fully cured. Like Fun Fact Friday, I'm saying all this as if I'm a bloody expert, when really, just a farmer trying to make something look better. But anyway, as you can see, always work with a wet edge. It's much better, and just basically try and get a good even coverage. So I'm going to leave you with the fun spraying, and we will see what it turns out like after.
I get amped up, I can't get enough. I'm always running like a madman, hitting like I'm Van Damme, breaking down the doors that are shut. I ain't gonna wait, I'm coming at you straight. Got you in my rear view, I don't even hear you, I'm already flying away. I'm already flying away. I'm like a cannonball, cannonball. I'm coming at you like a cannonball. You better watch, I'm blasting off. I'm coming at you like a cannonball. They call me Pastor B, about to call me king. Numb you like a stun gun, only hitting home runs. Yeah, I'm always doing my thing. Yeah, I'm only doing my thing.
Now, we haven't installed it because obviously this is still in that state and it needs a little bit of fixing first. Now, we've got to install some new track rod ends and inner ends. So the ball end and the track end from Cramp. Now I've got to say a big thank you to Cramp because they've supplied pretty much everything for this restoration, which is very kind. We're replacing those track rod ends because they are rather loose and one fell off on me, so that was a fun day. So anyway, that is it for this video. In the next video, what we are tackling is the boom head, because that is just worn as anything. So we're going to try and weld that up and possibly make a start on stripping the interior out, because it's a bit appalling and we've got to decide on something to do with the seat. But I'm not sure on that one yet. So any suggestions, let me know. But basically, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell, and you can catch me in the next video on this wonderful project of a Macro that's probably a bit past it that I shouldn't be saving, but there we go. We're going to continue to save it because why not? With any luck, it'll look miles apart when we're done. Who knows? See you in the next one.